Welcome to the Simple Sophisticate podcast, where intelligent living is paired with signature style. I'm your host, Shannon Ables, and whether you're listening on your commute, exercising, working in the garden, or sitting down with a hot cup of tea or a café au lait, thank you for tuning in. Let's get started. Welcome to the 263rd episode of the Simple Sophisticate. So happy that you are tuning in today. Today is going to be an episode entirely about style, but seasonal style that is timeless. In fact, this particular episode was inspired by a reader's comment or reaching out to me via DM on Instagram last month. And I want to say first a big thank you to Sarah, who is traveling to London this month in October 2019. She may already be there, but I'm not quite sure. If you are, have an amazing time. And if you're en route, bon voyage. I think you're going to have a fantastic trip no matter what you're doing. Say hi to Big Ben for me. But with that said, she asked for some ideas on what to wear while she was in London during the fall season. And it got me thinking about, well, why haven't I done this yet? So today we're going to start a series that, while I don't know exactly when each episode will air, for my fellow Francophiles and fellow Anglophiles who travel to these two countries and are quite fans of them, I want to share with you seasonal but also timeless style ideas that will make sure that you have a trip where you can just enjoy the trip and not worry about your clothes because you know they will be comfortable and stylish all at the same time. But before I dive into this list of style items, this week's Petite Plaisir is one for the gardeners out there. And I am so excited about the spring season that is 6 months away almost, or 5, depending on where you live, or 4, or maybe it's not that far away at all because you don't have a big winter like we do in Bend. But I'm getting excited because there's something that we are going to be doing in the fall that will make sure we have a beautiful spring. And there is an opportunity to find some beautiful flowers, and I want to share that with you in this week's Petite Plaisir. All right, back to today's episode. Timeless seasonal style, autumn in Britain. I want to begin with a quote from J.K. Rowling from one of her very popular novels, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Autumn seemed to arrive suddenly that year. The morning of the 1st September was crisp and golden as an apple. Well, we are going to be stepping into October for the first full week this week, and that means we're in the heart of fall. But it also means it's one of the most beautiful times of year around the world, but especially in Britain. And if I could be there now, I would love to. But many of you are traveling there or are there right now or call it home. And so what I'd like to do is talk about style, autumn, and Britain. Style and comfort, knowing how to achieve this combination while we travel enables each of us to relax and fully enjoy our excursions wherever our wanderlust might take us. As would not surprise the Simply Luxurious Life and the Simple Sophisticate listeners, many of you, including myself, love to journey to Europe, in particular France and Britain. And while I have primarily traveled to France in the summer and then London during the summer months as well, it was during the fall of 2017 that I had the good fortune to travel back to Britain. Expectedly, the suitcase's contents were far different than for the warmest months of the year. So, as I mentioned at the top of this episode, when a reader reached out to me recently and asked for style ideas for her upcoming trip to London this October, I came up with the idea to share a seasonal guide this episode, or it's also a post, so be sure to check out the show notes because I have shopped these items for you Anglophiles out there. And in the coming months, as I mentioned, I look forward to shopping the remaining seasons for both Anglophiles and Francophiles as having a resource to help simplify the packing process so that we travelers can focus on creating an itinerary that surpasses our dreams. Admittedly and unsurprisingly, I enjoy selecting the perfect outfit for whatever the occasion might be when I'm traveling. But equally as desiresome is not to have to worry about my clothes while I am traveling. Just trusting that what I have packed is exactly what I need frees my mind up to absorb the many new sights, sounds, tastes, and interactions, which enrich the trip all the more. So with that introduction, I'd like to share with you style essentials for traveling to Britain in autumn. And I've broken it up into 2 different lists because there are 2 entirely different worlds in Britain. And if we really break them down, there are a lot of different worlds, as those who live and have traveled there many, many more times than I ever have do know. But I broke this into city attire and country attire because during my last trip there, I did visit both, and my attire was different, although there were some crossovers. And with everything that I'm talking about, be sure to visit the show notes because I've shopped these items generally and specifically. So you're going to want to check those out and find the items that I'm talking about, but also just see visuals of ideas of what it might look like. I've also included a few trips from my trip to the countryside in Devon and in London a couple of years ago. So that's the simplyluxuriouslife.com/podcast 263. So let's get into the list for the city, with the goal being to build layers of style that will provide warmth when necessary from the rain and chill, but walkability as you make your way about the city on foot, the tube, bus, or taxi, all the while, as we mentioned, remaining in style effortlessly. So the first item to have is an absolute must in the fall is an ankle boot. Now this can be a flat or a slight heel item, but I would wear it with your jeans or any pants you bring. I've included a picture of the ones I wore and still have and love. They were suede, they're about 1 inch high, and they're from Eileen Fisher. She does have a new style available, not the exact ones I have, but very similar, and I have linked those in the show notes. So that's number 1. Number 2, now, it may be tempting to wear a trench, and personally, I will wear a full trench when I go, but I think a must-have is a short trench. This is a very versatile item, so you want to buy a quality one that looks just as nice with your midi dress, but also works very well with jeans, so your more casual outfits. And currently, there is a classic-looking short trench, and I say short, I'm not talking ones that are going to hit at mid-thigh. I'm talking ones that will just go right below your waist. And so it is just like a jacket, but it's a trench. And so it kind of elevates it a little bit so you can wear it in the evening with a nice dress if you'd like. But Ralph Lauren currently is having a sale through October 15th. So quite a long time. It started last Friday, and you can save 30% off site-wide. The promo code is on the show notes. Be sure to check it out. But I've shopped a short trench that I love and actually just recently bought when it went on sale earlier this fall. And I have done that. I've worn it with my jeans and I've worn it with my midi dresses, and it looks quite nice. Just kind of a middle of the road, kind of very transitional jacket. But if you do want a trench, I have included an article or a post that I've written that talks about finding the perfect trench for you. So be sure to check that out on the show notes. So that's 2, a short trench. 3 is to pack lightweight, high quality sweaters. Again, this is all about layering because you don't know what the weather's going to bring. If you're there in the early fall, it may be actually quite warm. But if you're there in late fall, you might actually get some frosts, which I did in November. Maybe not snow, but definitely some frost. So it depends on when you're there, and you just want to be ready for anything. And that's why lightweight is a good way to go. Number 4 is to bring a button-up collar shirt. This is something that I will also recommend bringing to the country, especially. But if you have one and you love wearing button-up shirts, which I do, bring it because, again, it layers well underneath sweaters, and it's an item that will always look sharp and transition well from day to evening. That's number 4. 5 is to bring a scarf or scarves, but again, lightweight with autumnal hues. So still making sure they work with your skin tone, but then work with the clothes that you're bringing. I've, again, shopped a few scarves for you that come in all sorts of different colors, but are lightweight. And then to look at the bottoms, I would recommend bringing either pants or dark denim jeans, whichever you typically wear. These are items, again, that would be paired with your sweaters, your button-up shirts, but they will also, if you're wearing pants or dark denim, they also can be dressed up very easily for an evening out. but be comfortable as well for you to wear during the day. That's number 6. Number 7, if you are going out and about and you want to wear a dress, midi dresses are in style now, and they have been for a few years. And if you buy a classic style, a classic color that works well with your skin tone and lifestyle, you're going to be able to wear it for years. And I love wearing these with my next item, number 8, boots, knee-high boots with a slight heel. Now you may be thinking, I am not packing boots, but it's really worth it in the fall. And number 2, you can put stuff inside your boot to actually help compact your suitcase. I have usually always packed boots, and I definitely do when I go to the country, which I'll share in a second about what kind of boots I pack for the country. And it just makes sure that you look nice, but also keeps you warm. That's why I would recommend buying or having or bringing your knee-high boot with a slight heel. Number 9 is to bring, and you're not going to be surprised by this one, a sturdy pocket umbrella. And I do mean sturdy because you want to bring one that you can use wherever you are. It doesn't have to just be when you're traveling, but with the foldables, sometimes they can be fairly flimsy. And this might be something that you want to pick up while you're there because you're in London. Why not buy from those who build the best umbrellas in the world? In fact, James Smith and Sons are one of the longest running British umbrella businesses that are still in business, and they are used by the royal household. I highly recommend you check them out. If you don't have an umbrella and want one while you're in London, stop into their shop, and you can buy their umbrellas online. I provided a link and a picture of one of their fold-up umbrellas. They're very well made. In fact, they are handmade, but the colors they offer online are just a sampling of what you will find when you actually walk in the doors at their shop in London. So if you don't have an umbrella yet and you would like to get one in the actual shop, that might be a destination to put on your itinerary. So that's number 9, a sturdy pocket umbrella. And number 10 is to wear or bring, short or long sleeve blouses. So these are going to be lightweight as well. So either silk or any other lightweight material so that, again, you can layer. And just make sure that it's something that will match with your sweaters, match with your pants if you're bringing pants that aren't denim and that are color toned. So just, again, looking for at least 2 items that would pair well with whatever blouse you pack. And the last item to bring, and it is a definite must, even though I would wear my ankle boots quite a bit, is to bring stylish walking shoes that are worn in. You don't want to wear ones that you've never worn. You're not sure how they're going to work. But I would definitely pack those. Sometimes I find myself wearing them a lot when I'm traveling and doing a lot of touristing. What I mean by touristing is visiting the museums and the shops and just on foot a lot. But then other times I find I'm not using them because my ankle boots work just fine because I'm not walking as far, or my ankle boots are really comfortable. So it really depends on what you're going to do, but have them with you anyway. And I found a pair from Echo that come in all different colors, and I've linked those on the show notes. They're well made, so they will last for a long time, but they're not terribly expensive. They're about mid-range price. So check those out if you're trying to find some walking shoes. So that's the list for the city. Simple, as you'll see in the pictures of all the items I've shopped. They can be easily coordinated with each other. And again, you're going to buy something or items or bring items that work with your color palette, your lifestyle, and your body. So just maybe a checklist, if nothing else, to say, oh yeah, I do have that. I can put that in. Oh yeah, I do have that. Oh yeah, I can pair that with 2 things. I don't need this other item. Just something to help you out. So that is the list for the city. Now, before we get to the list for the country, I would like to introduce you to today's sponsors. Did you know that socks are the #1 most requested clothing item in homeless shelters? Well, Bombas is on a mission to change that. They created the most comfortable socks in the history of feet, and for every pair of socks purchased, every single pair, Bombas donates a pair to someone in need. Designed with special comfort innovations, colors, patterns, lengths, and styles, Bombas are perfect for the whole family. Get your hands on a pair of Bombas socks and your feet will thank you. Did you know that Bombas has donated over 20 million pairs and are counting still? Their socks are made from super soft, natural cotton, and every pair is designed with arch support, a seamless toe, and a cushioned footbed that's supportive but not too thick. Now, my new favorites are their ankle socks. In fact, you may have seen them when I shared a picture of them on my Instagram stories last week, and I purchased the multicolor pack. I am loving them. I go through socks like mad. These socks are well made, and I'm looking forward to wearing them for a very long time. And they're comfortable. With tons of different colors, patterns, lengths, and styles, Bombas also makes the perfect gift for everyone on your list. I have been wearing them every single day since mine have arrived for the walks that I go on with my dogs, and my feet are very happy. As a Simple Sophisticate listener, you have the opportunity to save 20% on your first purchase when you shop at bombas.com/sophisticate. That's bombas.com/sophisticate to save 20%. Bombas, BOMBAS.com/sophisticate to save 20% on your first purchase. If you are looking to understand something that's going on in your life, BetterHelp is online counseling that is there for you. If there is something that is interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals, be sure to check out BetterHelp. They will connect you with professional counselors in a safe and private online environment, and it's convenient. You can set your own time, go at your own pace, and you can schedule secure video or phone sessions plus chat and text with your therapist with licensed professional counselors that specialize in a variety of areas: depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, self-esteem, LGBT matters, anger, trauma, even sleeping. There is a counselor for you. Anything you share is confidential, and if you're not happy with your counselor for any reason, you can request a new one at any time. Available worldwide. And with financial aid available for those who qualify, discover secure, convenient, professional, and affordable help for what you have questions about in your life now. As a Simple Sophisticate listener, you have the opportunity to take 10% off your first month with the promo code SIMPLE. So visit betterhelp.com/simple and receive 10% off your first month. Saving money on award-winning wine you're guaranteed to love has never been easier with First Leaf. Unlike other wine clubs that guess about your favorite wines, First Leaf uses your feedback and ratings to curate wine selections personalized to your unique tastes. First Leaf is so confident in the quality of their wine, they even have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. That means if you're not feeling a particular bottle of wine, First Leaf will cover it completely. Now, I have had the opportunity to go through the quiz of getting to know exactly what wine I would like to have from First Leaf. And it is very simple, and it gives you a range of options to change and tweak when you get to the final assessment of what is going to be packaged up for you in your allotment of 6 bottles. In fact, I ordered the old wines assortment, and I had wines from Italy and France, and I can attest that these were delicious wines. I've enjoyed 2 of their bottles already this past month, and the other 4 are waiting for a dinner party that I am already planning up and cannot wait to host at my new house. Now, First Leaf has curated an introductory 6-pack of wine just for the Simple Sophisticate listeners. That's just $29.95. Seriously, an introductory 6-pack of wine for $29.95. These wines normally go for at least $20 a piece. With 17,000 unique shipments of wine going out every month from First Leaf to their customers, this is what makes them unique. Everyone's tastes are different, and you can tailor yours to suit you. Try First Leaf Wine Club today, where buying great wine is simple. As a Simple Sophisticate listener, you have the opportunity to receive this exclusive introductory offer. Receive 6 bottles of wine for only $29.95 plus free shipping. Just go to tryfirstleaf.com/sophisticate. That's 6 bottles of wine for only $29.95 plus free shipping. Go to tryfirstleaf.com/sophisticate. And enjoy. Now let's escape to the country and talk about the style items for seasonal, timeless style for your next trip to the countryside of Britain. Now the goal is to layer for warmth because there's going to be rain, and a lot of rain comes in misty waves that seem to never end. There are days where the rain does come down in just sheets of rain and sheets of wet of wetness. And you may go out in that, but I have to say I went out in the rain when it was misty. I didn't mind that at all because I was prepared, but I often just stayed in my vacation rental when it would come down very hard and just sip my hot cup of tea and just relax. But if you do go out in the rain when it's raining so heavily, I have a coat for you. Don't worry. Okay. So first thing that you want to bring is wellies or anything that's similar to wellies. So bring your rain boots. You're going to want to choose a size, a style, and a color that works for you and make sure that your feet are comfortable. You're going to want to make sure you purchase a pair that you walk in. These are going to be shoes you're going to walk in, hike in, walk around the outdoors, wherever it is you're going. So make sure it's something that you feel comfortable, not only just standing in and staying dry, but walking in and staying dry. So that's number one. Number two, pack a light to medium weight coat that is rain resistant. Now, I brought with me, and I would bring this again in a heartbeat, my Patagonia coat, which was an investment, but it's a lifetime warranty, and I loved it. It was not that thick, so I could actually, for packing purposes, this particular jacket, and I've linked to it on the show notes, I can package it up, and it can be just a matter of 4 by 4 inches square, and I can put that into my suitcase. But it's also rain repellent, which I loved. So make sure you do buy a jacket or bring a jacket that's rain repellent, but not too bulky, because it doesn't get terribly cold, but it can be very wet. And if you get wet, you're going to get very cold. So that's number two. 3, bring a stocking cap. Now, like I said a second ago, primarily it will mist. And when it mists, you can have your raincoat. That's absolutely fine. But what I found for me is I just needed a stocking cap. If it does rain heavily, I have a coat that I recommend from Columbia, and it actually is quite figure flattering, not too bulky at all, and it has a hood on it. There are a lot of different colors available, and it's fairly well priced. I would argue it's under $80 currently as I'm taping this, and I've linked to it on the show notes. So number 3 is bring a stocking cap, or if you do want to make sure you have a hood on a coat, I have a coat for you. Number 4, bring jeans, comfortable enough for walking, but capable of transitioning for a nice casual outing. Now, I found a pair of jeans from J Brand, and they are a classic style, straight legs. So they're comfortable, not too confining. And I would choose a dark denim again, or nearly dark denim, and ones that are quality, because you're probably going to wear them a lot. But I provide a link to those on the show notes. Number 5, this is where you're going to want to bring the button-up collared shirts. I gravitate towards shirtinis, but any button-up shirt that makes you feel good, but it's also comfortable and is a neutral color so that you can wear it with multiple outfits, whether you're in the country or in the city. Number 6, bring some gloves. In fact, the gloves I brought in 2017, half of those gloves, so one glove, is still in England. I don't know where it went. So I lost it. So maybe bring 2 sets of gloves just in case. No, I'm just kidding. But in all sincerity, I wore my gloves nearly the entire time when I was outside. I chose gloves that weren't too heavy, but they had to be rain resistant. And just make sure they're a pair of gloves that will go with anything, because you might wear them just to go to the coastline around the countryside, but you also might wear them to go to the shops in that town that you're staying in, or nearby, or traveling to. So that's number 6. And I've shopped a pair on the blog, so you can check those out. And number 7, similar to our city list, is to bring ankle boots. I would recommend flat or low-heeled ankle boots, and I've shopped a different pair for you here. These would be perfect for going out to dinner, going to the town and kind of perusing the boutiques and the shops, or going to, if there is a site you're going to go see that doesn't involve a lot of hiking, these are perfect for that. Number 8 is to bring a lightweight sweater or a long sleeve tee. Now, again, layering. Think layering, because you will find the temperature, while it doesn't swing too wildly, if you're going outside and then coming back in, or you get wet or whatnot, you want to make sure that you can still be warm enough when you take your jacket off, but not too warm that you're baking underneath your coat when you wear your coat. And again, I've shopped a few items for you on the show notes, thesimplyluxuriouslife.com/podcast 263. Now, I'm really excited to introduce you to one more sponsor, and I've waited to share it with you until after I've gone through both lists. As I mentioned, you can shop all of the items for both lists, the 11 in the city list and the 8 in the country list. But here is a sponsor that I am very excited that has reached out to me because I use this item all the time and have benefited from it and saved hundreds and hundreds of dollars because of it. And I'm really excited that they're sponsoring our podcast because you will benefit from this if you need to shop for some items. Maybe you're not going to England or Britain right now, but you like the items you see and you know you might be going in the future, or you just like these items, period, and they would fit your lifestyle, but you don't want to pay full price. I'm talking about ShopTagger. That's ShopTagger. Now, ShopTagger is an app, and it's actually one you put on your browser. Whenever you go to an online shop and you like an item, you'll click, but you don't want to pay for full price for it, but you want to keep your eye on it. You click on the ShopTagger bookmarklet or app if you're looking at it on your phone that you have saved in your browser, and it keeps an eye on that item so that whenever it goes on sale, you can tell it to let you know if it drops at any time by any amount. But you can also set, nope, has to drop 20%, has to drop 50%, and you tell them the size, you tell them everything that you need to make sure it's the item you want. And as soon as that happens, and I mean as soon as it happens, they will email you and you can make the decision if you're ready to purchase. I recently, as I mentioned in the list for the city, purchased the Ralph Lauren short trench jacket. I by no way could have paid full price for that jacket, but I loved it. I loved it. In fact, I put it on save last spring. I loved it so much. It came on sale this fall, 30% off. Boom. I was like, done. This is an item I have been thinking about for months. And that's the other thing. Sometimes we are hesitant to buy because we've made mistakes in the past about, impulsive shopping. And it's always best to wait to see if we really want it. ShopTagger lets you do that. You can forget about it. And if it pops back up a month or a week later and you're not thinking about it, you're like, nope, no thank you. But if you still are, and now you're going to save money, you're going to be glad you waited and used ShopTagger. So to use ShopTagger, I provided a link on the show notes that when you click, you can get ShopTagger for free. It's a free app, and you will automatically be entered to win $250 once you click on that link. You don't have to do anything else after that. So in case you're wondering, ShopTagger, it enables you to save items from more than 4,000 online stores to one place and get notified the moment they go on sale. It also scans the web for coupon codes at checkout and automatically applies them to your purchase. So if you're all about saving money, but you want to make sure you're buying quality items, this is the app for you, ShopTagger. Again, visit the show notes. I'll provide a link. Click on that, get the app, and then at that moment, you are automatically entered to win $250. Just simply go to the show notes, thesimplyluxuriouslife.com/podcast 263. So the lists I just shared with you were based on my own travel experiences in the city and the countryside during my trip to Britain in November 2017. If you will be traveling in early autumn, as I mentioned at the top of the episode, bring a few lighter and shorter layers, meaning with sleeves or even shorts perhaps. But no matter when you travel during the autumn season, if you pack items that layer well, you should be prepared for any occasion. Of course, your go-to handbag for day and one for evening is a good idea to pack as well. And I have even purchased a blow dryer that works directly and immediately without an adapter to British outlets rather than having to worry about one because sometimes my wattage is too much on the blow dryer that I need, and it just saves me time and money. In fact, the blow dryer I purchased was at the train station and it wasn't that expensive, and it's exactly what I wanted. So I now just stow it away in my closet waiting for my next trip to Britain, which I hope is sooner rather than later. Anyway, the entire list, all the links are on the show notes, thesimplyluxuriouslife.com/podcast 263. And may you have the opportunity to visit Britain soon. And when you do, feel free to stop back by and share what worked for you. All of us work a little differently, but hopefully these will help you get off to a great start and feel comfortable and stylish in your clothes. Now, before I get to the Petite Plaisir, I've also included a handful, more than a handful, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 similar episodes and posts that you might enjoy, all British related. Sometimes some of them are travel, some of them are British Week information, some are just fun. You might be an Anglophile and some are about specifically my trip in 2017, where I stayed and what I enjoyed the most. So if you're interested in that, be sure to check the show notes as well for them. All right, I'll be right back with this week's Petite Plaisir. This week's Petite Plaisir is all about spring bulbs. I know, we're in autumn. What am I talking about? Well, gardeners know you need to plant the spring bulbs in the fall if you want them to bloom in the spring. Now, I am still learning all sorts of things about being a gardener from my mom, who I trust absolutely. But last year, what I ended up doing is buying my daffodil bulbs from Florets Flowers. Now, they're based in Washington State, so just next door to Oregon, and they do only ship within the states, and I think they might ship to Canada as well. But wherever you buy your bulbs, wherever you live, if it is fall where you live, it is time to plant those bulbs if you don't already have them in the ground, or you want to add a few more like I do. Now, in fact, the daffodils that I bought from Florets Flowers, and her bulbs are gorgeous. She has daffodils, she has tulips, she has ranunculus, she has all sorts of beautiful bulbs, but they sell out quickly. So this is why I'm sharing this with you today. Today at 9:00 Pacific time, her bulbs go on sale and they only last until they're sold out. And some of them sell out within an hour. In fact, I had my mom help me last year because I was teaching during the time of the sale last year, but not all of them do. It just depends on what is popular that particular year. But I planted my 40 daffodils last year at my rental. Well, by golly, I was not going to leave those daffodils behind. So we dug up the daffodils. They moved with me to my new house. They're highly worth it. These are beautiful daffodils, and there's so many different varietals. So if you're in the States or in Canada and you're looking for spring bulbs, I highly recommend Florets Flowers. I'll provide a link to her blog on the show notes. And if you're anywhere else in the world and you're looking for a little bit of color to welcome you after a long winter, this is a simple and inexpensive way to do that. And every year there'll be more, and they'll be more wonderful and full and lovely. And you'll be reminded that patience does pay off. I hope you've enjoyed this week's Petite Plaisir, where each week ideas are shared to make the everyday all the more enjoyable. Tune in at the end of each episode where I'll recommend a book, a film, a show, a recipe, anything that is a simple pleasure to satiate your sophisticated taste. Thank you very much for tuning in today, and I hope you have a wonderful first week in October. Thank you for tuning in to the Simple Sophisticate podcast, where intelligent living is paired with signature style. For more ideas and inspiration throughout the week, visit the blog, thesimplyluxuriouslife.com, or pick up my new book, Living the Simply Luxurious Life, Making Your Everydays Extraordinary and Discovering Your Best Self. You can also pick up my first book, Choosing the Simply Luxurious Life, A Modern Woman's Guide, which is available now in paperback, ebook, and audio versions on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes, or wherever books are sold. To stay caught up on the most recent episodes of the podcast, blog posts, my new cooking show, and receive exclusive news as well as an extra dose of inspiration to jumpstart your weekend, subscribe to the Simply Luxurious Life's weekly newsletter, which arrives in your inbox each Friday to enjoy with a hot cup of tea or a morning cup of coffee. Until next Monday, I'm your host, Shannon Ables. Bonne journée!